using the same sex similarity of magnets, Clifford's. And they made this thing with this magnetic levitation, hanging bicycle. Then some smart netizens asked at this time, can this suspension structure be used on a skateboard? Of course I want to be like in the movie, don't float at all. Currently, the most similar is this so-called superconductor technology. But I want to do that in our daily lives. That's almost impossible. So this video, we follow this founder, Craft God : to make a magnet that can be used in reality. Hoverboard. First of all, the magnet used in this case, it's still the same as on the bike. That's Kringle, the most magnetic female magnet in your hand. And such a piece has a size of 100*30 round with magnets. In theory, it has a suction force of 300 to 600 kilograms. Of course, this is the theoretical value of the suction plate. If the magnets repel each other, the actual force will be much smaller, but also quite powerful. As for such magnets, relying on repulsion, can it support the weight of the human body? Instead of relying on various theories or numerical values or something, might as well just make a model. What about the design of this model? It's very straightforward. Tip machining. Make a piece with two magnet mounting slots, bit metal base plate, and install the two magnets to the corresponding positions. Then Kringle will follow the same line of thinking. There are also two magnets above the production number. Installation slot skateboard. And to prevent the whole model is due to the instability of the magnet, it tips over or slips away. Between the upper and lower boards, two guides need to be installed to the column as affixed. After the assembly is completed, you can stand up and test it. There's no question, the repulsive force between this magnet is sufficient. Even say you do some movements on it, it's no problem. But we can also see human gravity plus the repulsion of magnets, etc., lead to these two pieces. The plates are deformed to varying degrees. So, I want to go out for a walk safely. These two plates must be upgraded in strength. Base plate will look like this. It adds a layer of reinforcement. As for the plank above, they don't use traditional skateboarding, the high-strength composite rubber sheet used. Is that so? So we have version 1.0 of this. This is not fish time, so is : hurry up and test it outside the house. So it looks like this set of maglev, the shock absorber is still very effective. But due to the guide column and linear axle rope, there is obvious friction. So the vibrations and bumps in the road will be uploaded to the skateboard above. The cosmic equivalent of him looks very fierce. But actually, you know all the little rocks that pass over the road. Cat to reduce mat. This is a thinning of the column here. But it doesn't seem to be useful. The feeling of sticking to it is still very rough. After all, inside this trap bearing, with steel balls or something, the structure is still very complex. But relying on the car treasure guide column still doesn't seem to be enough. So Colingo made it simple. Directly remove the two linear bearings. Instead, use these two 3D printed plastic bushing. Let's see if it fits. In theory, this can effectively reduce the mechanical resistance. It makes the levitation feel more pronounced. And with that comes the problem of resilience. That's when the whole structure becomes loose. Skateboarding at the same time, stability also starts to decline, and the vibrations from the side of the road will still come up. Therefore, Brother Colin also stacked version 3.0. What about this version compared to the novice? A more maneuverable long skateboard as the main body. And it also abandoned the previous guide column structure. Instead, a more integrated anklet structure was used. In this way, the magnetic dot in front is responsible for levitating. The rear anklet is responsible for stabilizing. As the structure becomes simpler, It also has better handling. And this effectively reduces the height of the entire board. This version seems to have been quite successful. But because the anklet at the back is bulky, so it doesn't appear to be hanging. Float. So the next step to improve, that is to do. It is possible to make between these two boards. It's like there's nothing there. To achieve this goal, and Ringo, he decided to take these eyes and look again, and detectable steel, silk to hold these two boards in place. But when he added these with confidence, after the aids are removed, and it turns out it can't be fixed. It should be the problem of the wire binding method. Change the angle, change the binding method. Let's try again. Doesn't this work either? Let's try again from another angle. This time, more steel wire was added. It seems that there should be no problem. Finally, it won't collapse back and forth like before. But the next step. This effect is not as good as the previous versions. There is no feeling of levitation at all. In the end, he won the Jedi and the obstacle was in vain. With the failure of 4.0, this time, it is also stacked with version 5.0. What about another version, so to speak? All the excellent solutions before they are installed, based on 3.0, but the bulky anklet at the back, with this visually slimmer version. Guide column structure, and to address friction and stability issues. Special cash bearings are used here. And the square guide column with the guide rail. And finally, bad vision seems to be more suspended material of base plate. It uses 2 layers, 1 2 mm thick polycarbon twin plate. At the same time, he also sprayed poison on the wooden board of the door. Movie Back to the Future 2. The same interior as the hoverboard in China. Does it feel good to fit into this car? Of course, if the shoes are also in place, that's even more wow. Yes, very dramatic column, but does it work right? Check this out. Oh yes people, it totally work. Oh, this one is so much smoother. Now if we're a fine connection system, the board floats up and down with 0 friction. Given the sense of pure hovering. This literally is bouncing. Like you on a cushion of air. This is unbelievable. And as well as the smooth feeling it stares, it works. You can use it like a normal. And when filming slow motion, you can see how much the board actually floats up and down on the magnetic forces. I am totally nailed this one. Whatever question is, does this actually work a suspension? Like some rougher ground. So up in the barn, a concrete has these grooves cut into it. I attached a glass of water to a normal long board and skated it, and filmed how much it sloshed about. I then repeated on the magnet board, and you can see there's a considerable difference. And on the slow mode, you can see the board vibrating and bobbling around. But the top board remained in relatively steady. What about really bumpy ground? Well, The town on 11 has very old cobbled streets. How's it gonna cope with best? Well, you can clearly see the bottom board is having a rougher time than the top board. And then try again. But I think we've found a limit of my skating ability now. But the board is definitely best on a nice move surface. So, this is the end of this issue's founding pet project. Thanks for watching. Ask the same period of like goods and W5. Then smile to see red. See you. Once again, thank you all for coming to Max's Hypnosis Field.